Okay, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, I've been talking a lot about the E2 EeoN, the E20 agent app. I don't want to call it an agent app because it's a lot more than that, but I want to tell you what the agents did today. I was doing a consult, a late consult, because of accommodating individuals who observed the Sabbath. And because they observed the Sabbath and this was the only day they had available, we had a late consult. I thought it was going to go worse than I thought because I don't do well in the evening, as you all know. Anywho, um, and so I was putting the issues between the GPTs, and I was going between the GPT that I created, which a couple of days ago I didn't think it was ready, but it's it's a champ. Look, I put a situation through GPT, and then right after I did that, I put it through the GPT that I created with the agents. And do you know it talked about how the GPT was wrong, and it talked about ChatGPT was wrong. It forgot to do that, and it didn't do this, and it didn't do that, and it didn't list this, and it failed to follow this. And I put it back in ChatGPT, and it, you haven't asked me a question. Excuse me? What do you mean I haven't asked you a question? You sit right up there and you see it told you were wrong. And I told it that. It said you were wrong. It said you did everything wrong. Okay, fine. And it did everything right. But it did the big lettering and section 1 and all of that stuff like it normally does. Look, my GPTs, the ones that I created, I've been trying to do that from the beginning, where it doesn't have that hedging, where it sits up there and gives you misleading information. No, the GPT I created, it's just straight to the point. Now, ChatGPT says I'm cut and dry. You're dry, your mama. Anywho, well, ChatGPT doesn't have a mama. Exactly. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if I'm dry, as long as you understand I'm only facts and conclusions. I don't deal with opinion. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care anything. I just care about the facts, because once you have the facts, it doesn't matter what else is. There's no fantasy with facts. No one can challenge a fact. Do you understand? No, you don't. I can tell you don't understand a fact. You see, there are people out there who like to philosophize. They like to deal with philosophy. They like to deal with theories and guesses. They say things like God doesn't exist, but, huh? Who gave you the authority? See, you don't have the right to say whether God exists or not, because you don't know. You weren't there at the beginning, but he was. How dare you act like you are superior in your so-called rhetoric? So, does he exist? Of course he exists, because nothing can come around and about from nothing. Do you understand? The concept of death was introduced. It wasn't always there. So the problem is we think that things have to start from someplace, that it had a beginning, because we all had a beginning. And so we all assume that he had to have had one as well. He doesn't come from the same crop, the same tree, the same fruit, the same species. Lord, have mercy. Well, anywho, the fact that the GPT that I created does exactly what I anticipated, I will be introducing it to the public, but it will be on my site. Those agents will be available, but the agents will have some governors on it, because, sorry, there are a lot of stupid people out there. For individuals who pay for the service, because there will be a paid service, there'll be a free service and a paid service, but the paid service with the AI, part of the app, and using the agent, and having no governors on it where it's going to sit up there and block you from asking certain questions, that will be a paid service, and it won't be inexpensive. Y'all know me. I'm not trying to gouge nobody. Lord have mercy. Because I can't stand it. I've already been complaining about all of these other companies gouging people. Okay? It will be a simple fee. But the problem is, ChatGPT gives you all of that language and all of those words, and it gives you fluff. Man, my GPTs will put it in your vernacular, will explain it to whomever. Now, I specifically ordered it. Every response will have to be as if it was talking to the authority for whom it was directed. So it can't say, and what you asked and what you said, and in your documents, it can't do the your thing. But when coming, when dealing with ChatGPT, it did the your thing, and it says the reason why I'm saying yours because you put the question here, and so I have to speak to you because you're the authority. Hey, I'm okay. It followed the rules. Now look, I just was working outside. I have to go check the work that I did, and so I have to let you guys go. I just wanted to tell you how the GPTs I created, how they literally pointed out where ChatGPT was violating rules. All right, y'all, just get on and go on, and I'm gone.